In this video, we're going to cover CELPIP reading parts 1 and 4, places where you can get marks easily, but people still miss out on that. We'll look at that. The next video is going to be parts 2 and 3. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do so, because this is where we'll get all your marks. Now, we're looking at part 1 right here. You have a letter question on your left, and you have this part here, 1 to 5. Multiple choice questions relating to the letter, as well as the response letter. So here, first of all, what you want to make sure is instead of skimming through, you directly jump into the questions. So we're getting into the strategy right now. Let's jump into the questions. When I see words like these, the principal focus of this letter is to. The overall idea behind this, or the communication, is based on. I leave that for later, because at the end I would have read everything and I would know the overall idea and intent. So I'm going to leave this right now. Then I look at this one, question number 2. Dark energy's approximate share of the universe energy density is. This should be very easy to find. The keywords are right there. We're talking about the share or the percentage of something. Good. I can find it. Maybe it's somewhere where shares are mentioned, and then I'll read that, come back and match. The next one talks about the letter. So once again, I'm thinking a letter, it might be overall, but look at how specific it gets. Mentions 2 space telescopes. Which of the following are correct? So now I'm going to read the paragraph that is talking about the 2 space telescopes. Should be specific, should be in one place instead of spread out. Similarly, challenges should be in one specific place. And here it says attempt to unify fundamental interactions. All of these are specific keywords. So the first decision I'm going to make is do questions 2 to 5 first. And at the end, I would have read everything while I'm doing 2 to 5, and then I can answer number 1 without even needing to go and read again, because I would know the whole idea. So that's the first strategy. Focus on specifics, leave the general stuff for later. But we focus a lot on questions 1 to 5 usually, especially in my videos. But here, later on, questions 6 to 10, these are the places where you can really score 100 out of 100%. Why? Because this right here is something which is new. This is a response to the message that was written here. So this, you should understand, this response is a new person talking. And while the response is based on the initial information provided, this comes from the perspective of a different person. So you should not rely heavily on everything written here. In fact, a lot of students just look at this and are able to answer 4 out of 5, 4 out of 6 questions without even reading the whole thing, because we're looking at the different person's perspective. So that's one thing you need to understand. But don't worry, we'll go a little more specific. What do you have to do exactly before you get to the blanks? Question 6, question 7, what do you do right there? This is the point where you do 2 things. 1 is predict, and 2 is eliminate the general options. I'll show this to you in practice, and you'll see why you should really just be getting a full mark right here. And this can save you if you're screwing up here. Okay, so this part is important. Now, if I just give you a summary, and you can pause the video if you want to read it in detail, but a summary is this person is writing to someone, and they're talking about a very scientific theory. They're talking about an enigmatic concept of dark energy, giving details of that. As you can see, it's more like a research paper. This is what we found, this is what our team found, and so on and so on. Okay, right now I'm just going to say that, and you will see even just with this information, I can get the right answer. If you want to read it though, feel free to do so. I'm going to jump right here and see the response. Again, this is written by a new person. So it says, Dear Frederick, thank you for your enlightening discourse on the multifaceted enigma of dark energy. General sentence, useless, ignore it. There is no question here. Questions are later. Your letter eloquently encapsulated the complexities surrounding the subject that has been at the forefront of cosmological studies. Okay, so they're very impressed with them. We kind of want to understand the tone that they're taking, because if they're positive, they'll be positive throughout, and vice versa. It is evident that you and your colleagues, now here comes the question. Before even looking at the question, I'm gonna predict, okay? What is going to be my prediction? Well, they're saying you and your colleagues, and this sounded positive. So I'm guessing they're going to appreciate something. You and your colleagues are great, did great job, or you're wonderful in your studies. So I know that the answer has to be positive. That's one clue. Now, I'm going to look at my other clue by eliminating the extreme information and eliminating general information. Let's have a look. The options are driving innovative avenues. That could be it. You know, they are talking about a lot of innovation. Sure. Sustain a compelling argument. Now, the colleagues and him, they're not arguing about something. They are not pushing an argument or talking about a controversial topic. So that is kind of weird. It's not even general or specific. It's just a weird thing because we're not really reflecting on one argument. That word, argument, will take this answer out of the equation. Now let's look at the next one. Rely heavily on non-empirical data. This is an extreme word. Heavily, rely heavily. So we're only focused on non-empirical data. And if you read this, it's not really mentioned that we only focus on that. Similarly, later on you see focus here. It says solely on philosophical insights. Solely, it's like the only thing you focus on. And that's where this idea may have been mentioned. They focus on philosophical insights, which they actually do. But the general or the extreme word here, solely, is going to take this out of the equation. So words like these are put in place to trick you because it is mentioned. This is mentioned, but it's not solely and it's not heavily. So I'm going to eliminate these options. And this one I already eliminated based on logic. And this is the one that is left, and this is the correct answer, are driving innovative avenues. Recap, what we did was before even reading everything, we predicted and assumed what could possibly go here. Then we eliminated some things that just straight away didn't make any sense, but also the things that are extreme words. Look out for words also like always, never. These kind of words are just there to make the sentence correct, but the examiner will say, but it didn't say always, it didn't say never, and that's where you can find out the right answer choices quicker. And you see, we did this without even reading anything, right? So this is how you want to get ideas for questions 6 to 10 and apply them in all places. Of course, there are going to be places where you have to go back and find out specific sentences, so don't be afraid to do so. Now, let's jump into part 4. Part 4 is the hardest version, so we're moving from the easiest to the hardest version right now. If you have done this before, you know the format is the same like part 1. You have a passage here, you have questions 1 to 5, and then you have a response letter, okay? Once again, what you want to do is not skim through. Instead, go here, look at the specific questions, see if you can find those right here. For example, if this one is talking about Dr. Voss, that's a big specific pointer for me. I'm going to look for Dr. Voss. Where is he or she mentioned? And they're right here. So this is where I'm going to start reading. And it's talking about a new economic sector arising from. A new should be something that is mentioned earlier. And so I would probably read this paragraph for that. Figure it out. If not, maybe this one, but I'll find a specific place for that. Then keywords here, primary technological hurdle. So hurdle, problem. I'm going to look for those issues. Then Professor Patel's name has not been mentioned until here. So I'm not going to worry about him all the way here, right? So I'm looking for specific solutions, specific keywords, and finding them, reading them, answering them here, instead of reading the whole thing. Very similar to part 1. But let's come to this part right here. Now, this is, again, not a response, but a comment from someone else. It's a third person who read this whole thing, and now these are their comments or thoughts. Now, before we answer this, let's have a quick overview of what this one was. And you can pause the video if you want to read it in detail. They were talking about cutting-edge innovation. I'm going to give you a summary. And a new frontier, it's about technology, and they were headquartered here. Cool. Mostly the main topic is where the argument happens between people, and this is the first person. So he's a visionary and architect, and he has a paradigm shift now of what? Let's see. He's talking about our place in the universe. According to him, utilization of celestial resources is not only economically advantageous, but it's imperative for our species' survival. So he wants to go into space. He wants to explore futuristic allure and economic potential. So he's pointing out the benefits. He is also saying, amidst the complexities, the project's intricate planning underscores the profound aspiration to transcend earthly limitations through. So he's going to use technology despite the hurdles and make things better, get it done. Now, the other person who is in the debate, we need to understand what they are arguing against. What is their point of view? Because it's always an argument. So Professor Anjali Patel, she says, it's probably a she, a prominent opponent of ARI, whatever it is in this case, critiques the mission. And what is her critique? Let's understand that in a summary. She's saying that if you have financial resources, then you could have redirected it to Earth. And issues like poverty, food security, environmental restoration, we could solve that. She warns against the exacerbation of socioeconomic disparities between rich and poor, most likely. And innovation and contention poses an intriguing inquiry to the future of. So this one is more of a general conclusion that, yeah, this whole thing is a big debate and we'll see what happens in the future. Cool. You understand? I hope you did, because we need to get better at summarizing everything because the exam time is short. However, don't worry. By the time you answer questions 1 to 5, you will have a pretty good idea of what this is about. Now, let's have a look at this comment. The dialogue surrounding the Astral Resources Initiative brings to light some of the most intricate debates concerning humanity's future in space. Very general statement. I don't know if this guy supports Professor Anjali or goes against her. However, now here, we're going to talk about his opinion. There remains a lack of focus on societal, and then there are these options. Then comes this part of the sentence, so let's read it without the options. However, there remains a lack of focus on the societal something implications of diverting attention away from immediate terrestrial issues. So this person is not happy with the space exploration, which means he or she is supporting Dr. or Professor Anjali here. He or she is going to be negative about space exploration. So what is he or she likely to say in question number 6? Something negative. So that's our prediction. Likewise, let's have a look at the options. Socioeconomic implications. That is exactly what Dr. Anjali mentioned with the words like poverty, and she actually used the words socioeconomic disparities. So if this person agrees with Dr. or Professor Anjali, then he or she will agree that the problem here is the socioeconomic issue. Environmental, not really mentioned, not really focused on much. Technological, of course, there's technological implications. You are going into space using technology, but again, that is the same issue like what we had in part 1. This is so broad. This is so general. It's not specific. It's just a big word without showing any specific link to anything here. I'm going to eliminate that. Ethical, it's not really even mentioned. That leaves us with socioeconomic, which is the right answer. Let's keep going. Now, this person clarifies directly, my stance is more aligned with Professor Patel, so we already knew that, who consistently highlights how. Now, my prediction is basically everything here. Poverty, socioeconomic, environmental restoration, food security is what we need here. So, obviously going to be one of those. Let's have a look at our options here. Misallocation of financial resources. Indigenous rights is nowhere mentioned. Poverty alleviation, that is mentioned. Social development is mentioned. So we have 3 good options except for indigenous rights because that was not mentioned. But then look at the keyword here, is crucial for progress. So is misallocation crucial? Absolutely not. It's negative. Poverty alleviation, getting rid of poverty is crucial. Yes, that was mentioned. Social development is crucial. That was mentioned. But now, again, here we don't run into the problem of having anything general or extreme. Here we just have to link it with what we have so far. In this case, socioeconomic was mentioned previously. It's not going to be mentioned again. Otherwise, it's going to be repetitive. No point of repeating it. So the answer is going to be poverty alleviation. That is the correct answer. And then we continue with questions 8, 9, 10, and so on. This, again, I'm going to state this, part 2 or section 2 of your parts 1 and 4, this is easy. You've seen me answering these questions without even looking at everything perfectly, but with the right strategy and with understanding as well. You should not have any excuse of messing this part up. You can mess up this part. This is tough, but if you do, this part will save you. So don't ever ignore the possibility and potential of the second part. And similarly, in parts 2 and 3, you have similar areas where you can score really high if you're struggling with others. We'll discuss that in the next video. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. We'll talk very soon. Take care.